Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a living room decorate with me. I filmed this all the way back in August because I was really unhinged this year. I could not stop myself from getting excited and decorating for Halloween. So that's exactly what I did. I always start by packing up whatever I'm not going to keep out for the Halloween season and putting it in the bins that my Halloween decor comes in. I just like to keep everything safe, and then it's way less cluttered. One of my biggest design tips is to replace, not add. So whenever you take out your Halloween decor, instead of just adding it on top of your regular home decor, go ahead and remove all of your regular home decor and then just put out the Halloween decor. So anyways, I'm also watching Twilight because that's a whole Halloween mood. All the cozy fall vibes in that one, and it is hot and humid here in Georgia in the summer, so I was trying to really summon the fall with this flick. Anyways, so I took some time to wipe down the TV stand just because it can get dusty, and it is in a new area. Last time you saw it, it was probably over on the other wall, and down a little bit further. We've done some rearranging in the living room, so this might look a little weird, but that is why. And so then I just started to lay down some creepy cloth. Creepy cloth, I feel like, is an absolute necessity for Halloween decorations. It just gives everything a new texture and adds that kind of, I don't know, worn in look that you want with Halloween, even on like a nice item like this TV stand. So I had everything on the coffee table behind me, kind of opposite from the TV stand here, and I just started grabbing things and putting them on the TV stand, and you'll see I do a lot of arranging and rearranging as I try and decorate. That's just how my brain works. But one challenge I felt like I had this go around is that where we've mounted the TV, our new TV, we mounted it a lot lower than our last one because the couch is a lot closer to the TV in its new spot. And so we can't have it as high, or else you're constantly like looking up at the TV, which is obviously painful for your neck. So I noticed that some of my taller decorations were kind of blocking the TV, which was fine in some cases, but in other cases I kind of had to work around it and figure out something else, because it was like, you know, genuinely blocking like subtitles or something that would like actually be a part of, you know, like the movie or whatever it was. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but I figured it out, and I'm actually really happy with how everything turned out this year. If anything, I'm just so excited to buy more Halloween decorations. Like, I really just want to keep taking my stuff to the next level every year, but I also don't want to spend an absolute fortune on Halloween decorations all at once because I'm trying to be somewhat fiscally responsible in my Halloween spending. So just taking my time, slowly adding things year by year, and making it super fun and cool. So I have these awesome little broomsticks. I have a really hard time incorporating sometimes because there's 3 of them. So it's kind of like you can't just put like one on each side. It's always kind of lopsided. So it's interesting figuring out how I want to use those. And I actually didn't end up using all 3 on this display this year. I ended up taking one over to my bookshelf in my new office and displaying it over there. So I ended up putting these canisters in the same exact spot that I put them last year, which I really liked them there. I used a glass cake stand and I just layered some creepy cloth over it to kind of lift up that haunted house that I have there in the middle, because I felt like it was just getting lost, you know, just like flat, like at the bottom, if that makes sense. And then on the left hand side, I have this cute little statue that I got at Home Goods that is like a branchy tree, and it has a black cat on it and a broom and a cauldron that's bubbling, and it says haunted house, and I just felt like it fit the vibe of this kind of Hocus Pocus-y themed living room. And then I used a candlestick on the right side to elevate my little Binks statue. I don't have as much room on either side of the TV stand in this new spot. So with my Billy Butcherson grave, if you remember that from last year, I normally put Binks next to him, but you'll see what I mean in a minute when I say that wasn't quite working for me this year. So as you can see, I am trying to figure out where the heck to put this 3rd broomstick, and I just could not find a spot that I liked for it at all. And I'm just trying to arrange all my little pumpkins in fun spots where it all makes sense. And then I started adding some tea lights in there as well. I really need to invest in some nicer tea lights that have timers, because I just kind of leave them on and the battery drains so quickly just leaving them on 24/7. But it's such a pain in the butt to like every night turn on all your tiny little tea lights and then turn them all off, and like when you go to bed, it's just a lot. So I really want to get some that have a timer. But truthfully, I haven't seen LEDs or like fake lights that come in a tea light size that are on timers. Like obviously the big ones often have timers, but I don't know. I'll have to look those up and see if I can find those somewhere. So then I tried something that I immediately regretted. I have these little orange string lights that I got I think last year on clearance at Spirit Halloween. And I kind of was like trying to drape them in between items and like throughout the creepy cloth, but they just like weren't laying quite right. And maybe it would have looked cuter if I tried to do this at night and see how that looked. But at least during the daytime, it just looked really jank. Like I feel like it's not coming across on camera how dumb it looked. And I immediately regretted it and pulled them up. I was like, absolutely not. So then I tried something else. I tried draping it kind of around the TV, because I've not yet purchased like the LED backlights for this TV. I love the ones on our other TV. They kind of like go around. Also, ignore the paint on my butt. I know. These are my like work pants, my work leggings. So there's paint on them from painting the house. But anyways, so I really love the LEDs that go around your TV, and we just haven't bought them for this TV yet. So I was like, I'll see if these lights would work. Absolutely not. Like you could not tell they were there at all. I even tried taping them up so they were closer to the edges, and they just got completely like lost in the sauce. Like they literally did not look like they were there at all. So then I just wanted to add some spider webs to give this kind of a creepy look, and I actually reused spider webs from last year. Don't do this. It's a bad idea. I really want it to be, economical and recycle, but something about this spider webs, when you try and kind of like re-pull them after you've already pulled them apart, like I said, because I used them last year, they look just like white hair. They don't look like spider webs. Like I really tried to make it work, but they also just like didn't stick to things as easily. I'm not sure why that is. But I honestly don't love how the spider webs this year turned out. So I'm going to have to buy some new ones and maybe try again, because this just like was not it. I mean, I feel like you guys can tell, like it looks like they're barely there. And then I was trying to get it around this like glass pumpkin, and it wasn't sticking at all because it's glass, and it just was kind of like a fiasco, to be honest. Like it just was not happening for me. My apologies if the Twilight subtitles are distracting. If you didn't notice them now, you probably won't be able to stop watching them for the rest of the video, so sorry for that as well. You can see I'm just really struggling to make these spider webs look decent at all. The effort was there though. Had to give some Lily nuggles. Okay, so this is like maybe 2 weeks later. I have never purchased these little wall bats from Amazon before, because I just thought they would look cheap, but they were really cheap, and I just decided randomly to throw them in my cart because I'm actually throwing a Halloween party for the first time this year, and I really wanted to like continue to help the decor, like have like take it to the next level essentially for this Halloween party. So I was like, okay, maybe these bats will look good. So I went ahead and ordered them, and let me just say, I absolutely love them. This one pack I think was $9.99 and came with so many freaking bats, like you will see in a second. I just kept adding and adding and adding them. They went up both corners of this wall all the way up to the ceiling. I broke my TV stand trying to stand on it because I'm an idiot. But I just absolutely loved how these turned out. Like, I was so happy with it. And I really do feel like it just adds to the spooky vibes so much. And I feel like with candlelight, because the bat wings kind of flap as air moves, oh my gosh, I think it's just going to be such a vibe at night. After that, I moved over to the console table, which I kind of wasn't really planning on decorating this year because I didn't really feel like I had enough decorations left over to make it look decent. But then last minute, I found a couple things here and there that I hadn't used yet. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put a simple display up because, you know, I want to use all the spooky things that I have if possible. So I started by just clearing it off like I did with the TV stand, and then cleaning it off and wiping it down and everything as well. There was a lot of clutter on here, so it was probably good that I had a reason to take some time to put it away anyways. But I just wiped it down real quick because this area does get a tad dusty as well. I feel like dust just shows up on black furniture so bad. And then I brought over a few items that I had lingering about. So I had this flower bouquet and this purple glass jar that I've kept them in years before. Well, just last year. And then I added these black candlesticks. I also had these skeleton hands that hold little tea lights. But I ended up removing those because they really just didn't fit the vibe, you know? They were not the same kind of look. They're for like a little bit more glam, and everything else was like a little bit more on the gothic side. Boost decided to make himself a loaf on the TV or on the console while I was working. And I wanted something to put on these candlesticks. And so I actually ended up pulling the black sparkly pumpkins off of the Hocus Pocus display and putting it over here instead. And I really like how it looks, to be honest. And then I just tried adding some more spider webs. I really wanted to give it like some texture and everything. But again, these spider webs were old and you just didn't, I feel like, look as good as they did last year, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next up, I started by putting a fresh set of spider webs straight out of the bag. So this one was much easier to work with, in my opinion. I put this over the table or like underneath the legs on the table, and then I pulled it like as hard as I could across the table and then down and underneath the legs on the other side. I just really felt like the table needed like a little bit more, you know, oomph. And I thought spider webs might do the trick. So the hardest part is like pulling them completely apart. And I feel like the trick with spider webs is like less is more, if you know what I mean. Like if you just completely cover it and it just looks white, I feel like it doesn't give that spider webby look. You just have to like keep yanking on it and yanking on it until it kind of gives that really, you know, thin webby look. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I just kept messing with it and pulling on it, and slowly I felt like I got kind of the look that I was going for. Then I just put the little pieces of decor back up on the bookshelf, or on the console table, sorry, and I tried to my best to add spider webs onto this mirror that's behind it, but it's honestly not hung very sturdily, and so I gave up on that really quickly once I realized I might make the mirror fall down if I tried to continue with that. So then I just added the spider webs back on because they kind of fallen off the pumpkins a little bit, and I wanted it to match you know, the level of spider webbiness on the console table. So yeah. And then I just wanted to give you guys kind of an overall look at how it turned out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little living room decorate with me. I absolutely love doing this little Hocus Pocus display, and I like how the console table turned out as well. So please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that big red subscribe button down below. I would love for you guys to come hang out with me for all 61 days of Halloween that I have planned for you guys. So come hang out with me, click subscribe, leave a comment down below of any type of video you want to see throughout this spooky season, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.